So as we wind this down, I'd like you to look around your table and look at all the people who you think are special. They're not just the special athletes. So we come to these events and we have, hopefully, a little bit of an altruistic beat to our heart. We're here because we think we can do good for somebody. But I would put forth that every single person at your table is somebody who has had somebody else shine a light on their life. And that has made all the difference in your life. If you look at Lauren, a young lady whose disability makes it difficult for her to speak, she stood on this stage in front of this audience and communicated perfectly. That is shining a light. You heard from Anu, who did not have a father present in his life. He did not have a man, showing him how to be a man. And yet he is a role model for other young men. He is a light. You heard from Chad, who came late to life to disability and thought his life was over and had to fight through the darkness of fear and loneliness. And as others saw him do that, they drew courage from it because he is a light. And you met Michael, who gave hope and help to a blind man. I can't think of a brighter light. Well done, Michael. But our special athletes are not the only people who have been touched by a light. And I would ask you to think of the light in your life. Guys, that's supposed to be your wife, but it doesn't have to be. You are where you are for many different reasons, but at some point in your life, there was that dark moment where you didn't think you would get there. I was talking with one of the Special Olympic athletes earlier this evening, and he came up to me and he said, "You're the voice of the Ravens." And he had that look in his eye that, God, that must be the coolest thing in the world, and it really is. But he had that look in his eye like, you were born to be this, or you're special, and man, I was not, and I am not. But I had a light. When I started my internship, I was an intern long before Mac was, at a TV station in Miami, Florida. I graduated from college, and I decided after I graduated with a finance and economics degree that I wanted to work in TV. I am not the swiftest nor the sharpest. So I moved from Towson down to Miami where my parents lived, translation free rent, and I became America's first millennial. I lived at home, I made no money, I borrowed money off my dad just to get the car down to a TV station in Miami, where I knocked on the door and I said, "Hey, can I have an internship?" And they said, "Sure, but we don't have a program." So I would just show up every day, and they would just let me hang out. This is not really great career building advice I'm giving you. And a year and a half later, I was still showing up, living in my old bedroom in my parents' house. For some reason, they hadn't kicked me out yet. And I was just showing up at the station trying to learn how to be in broadcasting. And even guys like me eventually think, okay, maybe this isn't working out. But every night I would take the 11 o'clock scripts, and I would go home, and I would stand in the bathroom, and I would practice reading the scripts into the mirror. I mean, I really wanted this. But after a year and a half, borrowing money from my dad just to put gas in the car, seeing my friends get good jobs and careers started, getting married and moving on in life, the thought crosses my mind one night as I'm driving home that this is not going to happen. It's time to go get a job in some other field and just give up your dream. So I'm driving home in South Florida, and when you drive north on 95 in South Florida, you reach a fork in the road. If you stay straight, you can come all the way back to Baltimore. If you veer left at the turnpike, you go to where my parents lived. I come to the fork in the road, and I remember this like it was yesterday, thinking, the hell with this. I'm never going to make this. What was I thinking? Just stay north, drive back to Baltimore, go find a job, and get on with your life. Forget your dream. As I approached the intersection, I thought to myself, you were raised better than this. You at least owe your parents the respect of saying, I'm giving up on my dream. Thanks for letting me live rent-free for a year and a half, and then leave in the morning. So I go to the turnpike, and I go home. As I walked into my bedroom, my old high school bedroom, there on the desk was a white gooseneck lamp with a red bow on it and a card next to it. And I opened up the card, and it said, I know how hard you're working on your dream. I hope this shines a little light on it. Love, Mom. I went back to the TV station that next day, and I've been going back to a TV station every day for 35 years. Only because I am not special. I am not extraordinary. Only because someone took it upon themselves to be my light. As we say goodbye, and as I say thank you, I ask you only this one thing. Go forth from this night, having met some special people, and go be a light. Thank you very much. Enjoy the Special Olympics this weekend. And how about it for our athletes?